You are watching The Guy Dawson Show at WCOBM.com, the World Center of Broadcast Media. Also want to remind you about the PR Connections radio show that airs every Wednesday at 11 a.m. at VegasAllNetRadio.com. The radio format is so much fun, isn't it, Kwan? You've been teaching me Chinese, and am I learning anything?
Of course. Going to teach you more. Be prepared. I'm telling you. I will have a Chinese character
Tune
here
in every
showing
Wednesday
everyone.
to listen to my broken Chinese.
That's good. You can broken Chinese. Oh my gosh, you should be proud of yourself.
We also share cutting-edge concepts in public relations, marketing, business networking, and personal development. Every once in a while, we get a celebrity to stop by. We have a lot of fun. You've been on that show, haven't you,
have.
Augusta?
It's a wonderful show. I learn a lot every time I go there. I get to watch you work, and it's awesome.
Yes, so make sure you tune in. Again, it's every Wednesday at 11 a.m. at the new VegasAllNetRadio.com.
All right.
Augusta Massey, attorney at law, has been sharing tips for business owners, ways that we can protect ourselves. You were in the middle of a tip. I hated to cut you off. They make us do commercials.
We need
we have
commercials.
Sponsors.
That's true.
We have to take care of. However, please resume where you were.
And so all I was just saying was real quick, make sure you hire someone who's competent in an area of law that you might need help with, or get a good accountant or a tax advisor. The third tip I was going to give today was separate yourself. So what does that mean? Separate yourself. Separate yourself from this lovely business you created. What do I mean by that? I mean you should get yourself some protection, right? You don't want to go into business and everything you worked for gets snatched away from you by one lawsuit. The reason you go into business is to provide for yourself and for your family, I would hope so, or to give some kind of benefit to the community. So you don't want one lawsuit to then take away everything you've worked so hard for. So what I advise my clients to do is form a trust. If you don't want to put everything in your name, have the trust own the business, and if there's a lawsuit, the trust then takes the hit, for lack of a better word. Or get you a license as a corporation. So it gives you like that separation between church and state, for lack of a better word. So separate yourself. Church and state, they should not mix. Or you could get yourself a limited liability company. So if there's any issue, it stops right there with your company. Someone can then turn around and get a judgment against you and then take your car, your fabulous BMW, that's what you drive, right? Yes. Take
comment on that one.
Take your fabulous BMW, take that nice jade trinket you got from China, or something that you got something signed from Steve Harvey that you know it's valuable and worth something to you. You don't want an outsider coming in and taking those personal assets from you based on an issue that happened with your business. So make sure you try and separate yourself. And then a lot of us are solo practitioners, and we go it alone, or we start out being solos, but I just want people to know out there that you can always change at some point. You don't have to change your business per se, but you can change the level of exposure that you have. You can limit your liability and keep your business going, but get a different set of documents, right? So I started out as a solo practitioner. A lot of us don't have any money when we first get started, but do the right thing. Get your business license, you know, with the state. Let's start from there first. Costs you about $200, $300, and you get started. And now you're making money. You're doing right. Don't forget your humble beginnings, right? Don't forget that this is how I started, and now I'm making more. So in the beginning, maybe you didn't have a lot of assets, so you didn't worry about exposure to liability. But as you grow, you want your business to grow with you, and that includes growing your level of protection. So that's something that I would advise that we keep in mind. So number 4 tip that I'm going to give you today is insure yourself. What does that mean? So insure yourself, I mean get you some sort of liability protection. That could be getting, you know, a nice meeting with someone who sells insurance, like a liability insurance. If you're a corporation and you have a board of directors, getting a D&O liability insurance. That stands for director and officers insurance. So getting some kind of stopgap measure so your business doesn't take that big of a hit. You have the insurance there to pay whatever judgment you have. People, it's not if you're going to get sued. It's a matter of when you're gonna get sued. A lot of people out there are looking for a quick buck. Sad but true. And then a lot of us make mistakes because we don't know what the law is or what the law says. So why don't you get that peace of mind by getting you some sort of insurance? Another thing you could do is you could build protection in your contracts. This is when you'll give me a call and say, hey, Augusta, I'm about to sign a lease. What should I do? And then we can put some certain safeguards into your contract. I call it the escape button. You know, when you look at your computer, you see that button that says escape, escape. We want to give you something like that in your contract that you can hit that button and get out of your contract if the need so arises. I'm not saying going with the mentality that you're going to get out, but houses have back doors for a reason, okay? So we want to make sure that we put that into your contract. And then this is another free tip that I'll give. I tell my clients, don't sign guarantees easily, because when you sign a personal guarantee, what you're doing is now you're exposing yourself again to liability, right? So you just got that nice fancy LLC certificate and all of that to separate yourself from your business so they can't sue you personally, and then you sign a guarantee. All of that out the window. So be careful of signing guarantees. Sometimes it's inevitable, you can't help it, but then there are other things that if you come to the office, we can sit down and tell you other ways that you can strategize and protect yourself, but just be careful about that. And I think the last one I'm going to give is protect yourself. I almost feel like that song, you know, protect yourself, or is it respect yourself? I can't remember which is it. I am not a singer. Yeah. I am not, but I love music. And so I'll say protect yourself, and that could be protecting your files. In this digital age and the age of social media and viruses, they are everywhere, you want to make sure that you protect your business. If you lose your customer client list, I mean, how horrible is that? If you lose documents that you're working on, that's horrible. So make sure you always have like some sort of a backup for your business files, for your business processes, for your client list. Make sure that you're always trying to protect yourself. You hear all the time, I think recently we heard in the news where the U.S. government got hacked. And so when I think about that, if the U.S. government can get hacked, who's little or me? So you just never know, and with this age that we live in, so many crazy things keep popping up, and you just never know. So protect yourself as best as you can, and just plan for the inevitable as best as you can.
People a lot of times just don't see the value of an attorney until something happens. It's the same as insurance. You don't miss it until a situation comes up where you need it. And I feel like you offered a lot of valuable information to business owners. You talked about a lot of things that most of us don't think about because we're so involved in running our businesses, or I know I am, and my friends too. It takes so much effort just to run our businesses that you need to bring in outside people sometimes to get a perspective to help you to be prepared for situations that you don't know when they're going to happen.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you.
Can you do business doing business as if someone already have a solo company, you don't want to change completely your company name, registration, everything, start beginning, can you create an LLC then doing business as the previous solo business?
You could, and what I would do is I'll flip it. So I'll create the LLC, right, and have a doing business as, and keep my LLC license. So it'll still be an LLC. You go down to the Nevada Secretary of State's office, and you get a DBA
Augusta,
license.
this is going to have to be an extremely abbreviated answer.
I'm
sorry. We'll talk more about this one on the next show. Thank you all for tuning into the Guy Dawson Show at WCOBM this week. See you all next Thursday.
Great tips.